So good afternoon, Perkins and Will. We're here for the next episode of Framework, and we're in Teknion. So please give a welcome to John Helbig of Teknion.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our showroom. My name's John Helbig, and I'm Vice President of Design Research at Teknion. I'd like to show you a bunch of our products. We have a wide range of things on display here, including our systems products. We also have a classroom set up with our new thesis product. We have B&B Italia, we have Teknion Studio, we have Teknion Textiles. So there's a lot to see, and one of the things we're most proud of is how all these products work really well together.
Great, thank you. That's right.
I need to.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. I'm here to present Journal.
Yes.
Journal's a new mid-tier case goods product that is designed from scratch. We approached it with a more strategic approach to how we designed this product. Private office is becoming more and more contentious in the workplace as wasted space, and we wanted to develop this with the idea of it's built for one but can be used by five. So the idea is that the primary occupant can still have a fully functioning private office, and yet when he or she is absent from the space, it can be used by other colleagues to either collaboratively or for heads down work. I'm going to demonstrate how we can close off the personal space.
Okay.
Excuse me. So currently it's set up as an office for a single user. This shelving unit allows somebody to keep their personal effects.
Right.
It also has lockable storage at a lower level. In the event that the individual who occupies the office is leaving for the day or for some period of time, can close off and lock his personal effects. And then
now you have a meeting space.
Exactly. And this can then transform into a meeting space. I'll show you another feature of the product. We can move these guest chairs around.
Right.
Excuse me, people, I'm just demonstrating something. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, we're filming this. And this bench pivots out.
Oh, wow.
So it becomes
a community meeting space.
Meeting space for 5 people.
Yeah, that's great because so many executives now aren't always in their office.
Exactly. Well, more than 75% of the time, these spaces are left unoccupied, and it's valuable real estate that we feel should be open to everybody. So it's a bit of a mindset. We're trying to rebrand the private office to the new shared office, so that it really changes the way people use these spaces.
But it's done in a very elegant way.
We're just trying to keep all the cases at a lower level below the worktop. We specifically designed a table desk because we felt it feels like a piece of furniture rather than just an extension of the case goods.
Right.
The foot is particularly designed, this is a fixed height table.
Right.
It also comes in an adjustable height table, which I can illustrate in one of the other suites.
Oh, great.
Why don't we move to the suite next door and I can show you. This particular suite is way more conventional. Obviously, at the mid-tier case goods, we want to be competitive throughout that market.
Right.
To achieve that, we need to offer fully configurable case goods. There's a lot more storage in this suite. There's a runoff top supported by the pedestal. We've got a lot of credenza storage both on the side wall and the back wall. And then again, we're using these horizontal shelves, open-ended, but we have developed this very simple collection of organizers that can organize the shelves in different configurations. So there are paper trays as well. Also, in this particular suite, these are all 10 by 12 spaces. So you can see this is quite a comprehensive suite of furniture. We used high contrast finishes here. This is a seamless top, and likewise it matches this new handle that we developed for the product.
Oh, great.
The high contrast really makes the worktop look like it's floating, and along with Suzanne's new fabric on the wall, it's making for a very warm and
it's very sophisticated.
Yeah. And we're using one of the darker flint wood finishes from the Teknion collection.
Is this so it's more like an engineered type wood?
This is an engineered wood, yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to the next suite. So this next suite illustrates just how you configure the product into a much smaller space. This is actually an 8 by 12 office that is fully equipped with, I'm going to pass in front of you. It's very simple to specify. There are actually only 4 elements in here. There are 2 cases, third stacking bookcase, and then the wall unit, which consists of this worktop and shelf above.
Right.
Just by lifting the cases off the floor and adding this half-modular foot, it gives a much more like a furniture feel to the product, and we find that a lot of people are thinking this has a much more residential
feel.
Especially with the indirect LED light underneath the shelf. A lot of people are thinking they'd love this in their own homes.
Yes.
We feel that's an achievement to bring that sort of residential feel to the workplace. And this is a very comfortable office, even though it's only 8 feet by 12 feet.
Yeah, it feels very spacious and generous. And what I like about it is these different types of surfaces, vertical elements, horizontal, that makes it much more dynamic of a space. Because often in rooms like this, you just see like one big long run. It's kind of like it's relentless.
And just using some of the standard finishes with Teknion, they had this graphite steel powder-coated finish.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It just has a really beautiful, sophisticated contrast with this darker wood grain.
Right.
And then this is a seamless finish on the door, which makes for a really handsome combination of finishes.
Oh, that's great.
This particular unit can come open-sided, so you can put a hanger coat or jacket in there as well.
Oh, nice.
So it's a fully functioning suite. Let's move through to the last suite,
okay,
which is in the next room.
This one's like
unfortunately, this displays the height adjustable table.
Right.
At its higher level. I'm just going to move over there and sit down to its lowest level.
I'm glad you thought of good marketing, right?
The idea being that we decided to show this as a meeting room first, with this lounge seating. Again, this is another version of the table desk, but it's adjustable in height.
So what's its lowest point?
Its lowest point is 24 inches, and it can go up to 49 inches.
Wow.
But the idea being that this is a 15 by 15 space.
Right.
So primarily it could be used as a meeting space within an executive enclave.
Right.
Or throughout any kind of office. However, if the senior executive is in town and still needs to have privacy, we have, as we did in the first suite, this sliding door which locks, so personal effects can be kept in this area, and you can lock
Yes,
lower levels here.
right, acoustic where the desk is going to be inside.
Yeah, sorry, we're filming as well. So then, we can also raise this up to either desk height, wheel in a task chair, or you can take it right up to counter height or bar height.
And so you could still have a standing meeting as well.
Absolutely. Obviously, the sitting distance
Right.
is
The new smoking.
a problem for today's workplace, so absolutely it works for standing height as well.
And I love sort of the soft curve to this.
Exactly. Well, that was a deliberate decision to make anything that you're coming into contact with a much more tactile experience, using the longer curves along all edges and the rounded corners. The thinner profile on the tabletop, in contrast to the more architectural approach to the shelving and the cases.
Oh, this is great. It's beautiful.
And then we have Club Talk connectivity, which allows anybody to come and plug and play and interface with this screen on the shelf.
Great.
So it's a fully functioning meeting space in many respects. And apparently there are specs out there that all the way up to 49 or 50 inches, which is where it goes.
Ah, perfect for me.
Quite amazing. Whoever would need a table this tall.
People in the Netherlands will.
Yeah, maybe. A lot of people are saying that. So that's an introduction to Journal. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, Chris.
So wait, just keep saying
Hi, Stephanie.
Stephanie Douglas, Director of Workplace Strategy at Teknion. So we're going to take a look at one of our new introductions in the higher education, higher learning sector, thesis. We've got a bit of a presentation going on right now.
Okay.
We've come out with a research piece on this, Teknion Higher Learning, that was a collaboration with Gensler, and looked at a ton of universities, mostly North America, US and Canada, looking at what's going on currently in universities, how learning and education is changing, the impact of technology on everything, and then the kind of furniture that needs to go along with it. So not only we talk to students and professors in terms of learning and education, but also facility managers in terms of what their needs are. And so all this has been designed to stand up to heavy student use and kind of transition from education to more corporate workplace.
Great.
Yeah.
So this is sort of like the library carrel studies, zone.
So it's a base table, and then there's the study carrel kind of framework that fits over it. This is our new variable chair, which is awesome on many levels. Super basic, but really comfortable. Comes in different colors that were actually developed based on university colors. The most common university colors is antique color study. And
oh, wow.
base colors based on most frequent university
used
colors and modification. Over here, we've got the same table, just set up as more of an open study table without the study carrels on it. We've got built-in power designed to be student-proof and again, super flexible, used in a whole host of different ways, from team building to individual study in a library or setting, something like that. And then being used right now by our class on this is individual study tables.
So is that developed from one of your benching lines?
No, it's separate. It's developed as a standalone table, and it has integrated iPad holders in it, or book proper uppers, if you will, coffee holders, bag holders, all sorts of heavy stuff. All done in metal, again, but designed to be super durable, withstand the rigors of university life. And so we're excited about it, and we think it's an interesting mix of kind of taking what's happening in education, taking what's happening in corporate, and kind of mixing the two.
Great.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you've been following me around for a little bit, but my name is Eric Stroud. I am the New York market manager for Teknion Studio, B&B Italia Project, and Teknion Textiles. So I'm going to talk a little bit quickly about some of our new products for Teknion Studio. For those of you unfamiliar with it, last year we previewed and launched at NeoCon our own ancillary furniture collection with designers Jeffrey Burnett and Mario Ruiz. This year we've added 5 new pieces by Jeffrey and Mario, and moving forward we'll be considering and introducing new designers and some pretty fun, exciting names next year, which I can't divulge. So what we're looking at now,
you can divulge on this.
it's recorded. This is called Pi. This was designed by Mario Ruiz. It's a seating system that's comprised of a 2-seater, a 3-seater, and a single seat. You can do it with arms, without arms, and we'll see when we round the corner in a minute a cantilever end with a table.
Oh wow!
What's behind Pi you see is a screen. This actually was a NeoCon Gold winner for us, as we learned this morning.
Oh, congratulations!
It's called Lightwall. Thank you. And it's a magnetized. It's a magnetized system. It's very indicative of its name, Lightwall. And then you can pick it up. You can
So does it come in like 2 pieces like this?
It comes in 48-inch widths.
Okay.
It comes in 48 high, 51 high, and 61 high. So it's really aligning with our own system furniture as well.
Oh, so if like I'm in an open work area and I want a little privacy from it, I could bring one of these over and use it. Excellent.
So this we're very excited about. This.
Do they make a? Can you make a different angles?
Yes. It's interestingly enough, the magnetized iPad covers that
right.
you'd be familiar with. That was a little bit of the inspiration behind this. This idea that these can very easily separate and function on their own. The legs swivel, so you can adjust as needed.
Perfect.
And as we round the corner again. Teknion Studio has gotten into the wood furniture business now as well. We've introduced 2 new pieces this year that are solid wood. The NeoCon chair, you're looking at the guest chair here. It's upholstered in a Suzanne Tick's Velvet Underground textile. And then over here you see the Huntura bar stool with a back, without a back, and we have a guest seat as well.
Oh, great.
So these are just a few of the new exciting introductions for Teknion Studio this year.
Could you highlight some of the wood joints? Or how they're jointed together?
It's actually interesting that you say that, Steve, because maybe if we talk about this.
Okay.
Ventura actually in Spanish means joint or joinery.
Okay.
So it's really all about the connections.
Oh, nice.
It's available in 6 different wood finishes as well that will align with the Teknion Dossier case goods. And of course available in all of Suzanne Tick's gorgeous textiles, which we'll see in a bit.
Great.
If you turn around here, you can see this is the pie as well, just with the cantilevered end.
Oh, so is that a leather finish?
This is a leather finish on the base.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want. We showed in leather here, and then the table is a fixed tabletop that's a soft etched white background.
Glass.
Also with another Suzanne Tick textile that sits you.
Great.
So if we follow me, we're going to go to Hall of Sanctum with B&B Italia.
Okay.
There's been some lunches that have been organized. Let's interrupt him.
Yes.
Destroyed my
Sorry. Thanks.
hello.
Hi.
Hi. Full safe in there.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So this is being broadcasted to all the Perkins and Will offices.
Right.
So thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you.
So do you want to walk us through some of your new introductions?
Yeah, well, there's one new introduction this year.
Okay.
Which is this product here. This is the new Metropolitan
low back version of the chair. What we've done to the Metropolitan's been one of our classics for at least 10 years now as a lounge chair, and we've basically shortened the back and twisted it forward to create it into a more collaborative type product.
Now, does it have the opportunity to have that sort of turn mechanism, which kind of makes it return back to its original position?
We can do that. We don't like it very much, but we do have done it for projects. We actually prefer it to be free. Our experience with some of the lounges, we do a lot of hotels, obviously, and airport lounges. And the problem with an automatic return is inevitably it ends up returning to the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
As the chairs get moved around, so we tend not to do it. But I know we do have clients that do ask for it, and we can put it in.
And are there different metal finish options?
Yes, we use the polished aluminium is the main, the brushed aluminium is the main one, and we do what we call it black chrome, but it's not chrome. It's a paint finish.
Okay.
We do. But basically here is a good example of what B&B's technology is, because people, when they talk about B&B Italia, they always talk about B&B Italia from a point of view of design. But the other half of the story, probably the more important part of the story, is how we make the product. And these products are all made with our technology here, as you see here. This is our headquarters, this is where I work. Our factory, we basically make molds of every product that we make. So we don't use wood-framed upholstery like everybody's been doing for the last 100 years. But since the 60s, B&B Italia has created a new process for making upholstery, which is essentially a steel frame that goes inside a mold, and then we inject cold foam polyurethane into that mold, and it cooks for about 20 minutes, and then out of the mold comes the chair. So the advantage of that is, one, it's obviously very strong because it's made of steel, and secondly, the mold is always 100% correct.
So it's really quality control, making sure you ensure the best quality every time.
Well, if you take a mold, which is always going to be the same every time, and then you take computer cutting and sewing, you've taken all the artisan out of upholstery. Okay, upholstery is still done as it was done 100 years ago, and it relies a lot on the upholsterer. We have removable covers. It's basically a sock type approach that goes over a mold. And that's always been the DNA of B&B, and that's where we get our seating comfort from, and everything else. So there's a lot of technology in that chair, and that's the difference between B&B and any other company. So, have you tried it? It's very, very comfortable.
You want to demonstrate for us, Eric?
Good. Eric? Yeah, you can be you're much better looking than I am.
That's very comfortable.
Yeah. It's also wide at the front, which is quite handy for putting your iPad or whatever. As I was saying, in Europe, for example, most of our ladies, when they have a bag, they don't want to put it on the floor.
It's another place
in Italy, because the theory is the money runs out. So you have the bag usually on the chair. So that's why we have this wider front to it. And Jeffrey Burnett talks about it being a happy chair because it's got a smile.
Great. Well, thank you. Okay. Very nice meeting you.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. So
I'm Lynn Willis with Suzanne Tick for Teknion Textiles, and we have our new collection. It's called Form and Structure. You can see it here on the table. We've got 5 new upholstery fabrics and 4 new vertical fabrics.
Oh, great. So I'm going to walk around to the others.
This is one of our first patterns for Teknion Textiles. It's called Flexagon, and it's a 100% solution-dyed nylon product. It's got a really nice hand. It's bleach cleanable, and it's made from solution-dyed nylon. 100,000 double rubs.
Oh wow.
This pattern was developed so that it can be cut and stitched in any direction. There's no pattern matching required, so it can be vertical, horizontal, all different angles, and you won't see any kind of patterning.
So for the Perkins and Will people out there, this fabric is what we saw in the other room with the higher education furniture.
Yes, exactly, perfect. And then it has a sister fabric called Topology, which is the same pattern, but we took the scale down, so it's a scale study, and we turned it into a solid, and this is a panel fabric. So we're using it on panels. You can see it on the far side of the showroom. I'm not sure if you've been there yet. And it really looks almost like an embossed skin on the panel, so it really looks like a sort of totally new kind of material, but it's still tackable and it's still acoustic.
So in case you guys can't see it on the video very well, this fabric here, you see the strong lines. Well, this one is the same pattern, but it's like a white on white. So it's really beautiful and subtle, and it has a certain level of sophistication to it in the sense that, you know, it's this beautiful, like almost, you know, white on white piece of artwork.
Another one of my favorite upholsteries from this collection is called Situ, and it's a really elegant sort of fine boucle fabric.
Oh yeah, so Perkins, when we saw this in the studio pieces we saw a few minutes ago.
On the pie couches.
Correct.
Yeah. And this fabric is really all about the yarns that are used to make it. There's 4 different yarns in this fabric. I don't know if you can see it better here or here. There's 2 matte polyester yarns, a thin yarn and a thicker yarn. And then there's a yarn that's actually a matte and luster yarn twisted together like a barber pole or a candy cane. And then there's the final yarn, which is the actual boucle yarn. And in the boucle yarn, there's 2 different kinds of polyester that dye differently. So when you're looking here in the fabric, that dark line is the core of the boucle, and then the loop part dyes the other colors. So we've got 2 different colors going on, and we've got 2 different luster levels going on to give a real sophistication to the fabric.
Oh, this is great. This is a great tool to demonstrate how this gets put together. You know, it's nice, and this is what I love about Suzanne Tick and what she does, is that she's really great at, you know, educating people about textiles.
Yeah, we're total textile geeks in the studio. So I could talk to you about textiles forever and how they come together and what goes into them. It's really a lot of fun. We really develop our fabrics from scratch, and that really allows us to make something very unique and special in the marketplace. And also it really allows us to target great price points and great environmental stories. So for instance, this boucle is $36 a yard. It's a grade 3 on Teknion, and it's 55% recycled polyester. So we can build all of those things into the fabric because we're really starting at the very beginning.
Great.
Another really beautiful upholstery fabric in this collection is our new felt, which is called Heather Felt. And unfortunately for your audience there, it's all about the hand on this one.
Right, and it feels amazing.
It's really, really soft. This one's been about 2 years in the process to get just the right thickness, just the right hand, and just the right performance characteristics. It's a melange heather wool, so it's 100% wool. The wool is dyed before it's spun, so you can get that subtle color variation across the surface. We have another show it to you also in a bright color as well. So we have beautiful neutrals. There's actually charcoal right there at your hand. It's a really beautiful color as well.
Oh, nice.
And this guy is $68 a yard. Really durable, 70,000 Martindale. So again, we're trying to build in all the performance and all the price points.
No, that's a great price point for that material. So the color palettes look really great on this. What was her inspiration for the color?
We were really looking at a lot of building materials, and then in terms of color, we're also looking at trying to create a range of tonalities so that you could build in. You know, looking at our previous collections, we were building in. If you look like in our wall, I don't know if you can see the wall.
Yeah, we can walk over to it.
Really, this is a good one if you can read it. So really looking at playing with, you know, it's a purple and gray story, but we're really building all different tonalities of these colors. So really trying to expand the range of our colors, not just having everything be the same accent color.
Right.
Really building it so you can really layer it into space and really just bring a much more intriguing nature to the space with that variety.
That's nice because a lot of times we look at designing space and using color, we want to use a range of a certain color, and you don't always want it to be matched exactly because it gets too stagnant, and this helps you give a great depth to the project.
We definitely didn't want to have that animal look, so we're
Right.
really playing with it. And we're definitely always looking at the Teknion.
Yeah, the lion doesn't have to match the lion.
Right, exactly. I kind of like the lion and the elephant together myself. So they all live in Africa, but you're not the same.
Right.
And we look at the Teknion finishes, of course. We're looking at competitors' finishes. We're looking at woods and metals and stones. So we're kind of taking all those different finishes into consideration as we're developing them.
Yeah, this is a great way to tell that story. You really see that here. And even if I'm going to pan over to the red, if you look at the red here, how the complexity of the level of red you're seeing is really quite amazing.
This looks amazing. Yeah, it's been really fun, and we also are really trying to be aware of a variety of luster levels and scale of texture. And this is a new poster for us called Implex. It's really kind of like a really expanded basket. It's a chunky one. It's made with a shrink yarn, so that really gives it almost a seersucker kind of characteristic. And I think that even though it's a solid fabric, it really reads from a distance. It has a lot of presence because of that big structure.
Oh, great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi, I'm Steve South.
I think we met before. We met in New York. You're in
Yes.
New York? Yeah, we met. You came to one of the events, I think. It's really great. But thanks very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's our showroom tour for the day. Steve, thank you for bringing the office here. I hope you've seen everything you wanted to see and accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish. Any questions?
Not at the moment, but if anyone of you have questions out there, please contact your rep. There's a lot of great products here. And stay tuned for the next episode of Framework. Thank you.